Hello and welcome. So today we are going to be having one of those videos where we have a very interesting discussion because not only have we had like a ton of new fragrances being released every single week, but it just seems that there's quite a bit of similarity between scent profiles, right? So today we are going to do one of our buy this and not that kind of videos, right? But you do know, and in case you're new here, we do not like to bash fragrances on this channel. No, because they are creations and that means that they're someone's baby. So we're not going to insult anybody's baby. But it just so happens that a fragrance that I love may be one that you don't, and that is perfectly fine. So today I am going to be not necessarily comparing, but sharing with you several fragrances that all seem to have like the same scent profile, and I'm going to share with you my observations from testing. So what should you consider if you're looking to pick up, for example, a fragrance that is more of a musk-centric scent, but it seems that everything that has been released lately is kind of like the same scent profile. I will speak to the differences, and it's not necessarily a comparison again. It's more about when to buy what if you're interested in this and when not to pick up this one if you're not interested in this, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right in because we have quite a bit to cover. But if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we just love to talk about fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, don't forget to hype this video please, and leave a comment. Let's go fam. All right, so as always, before we jump right in, let me go ahead and share with you my makeup of the day. And today, guys, I was just not in the mood to do too much with makeup, so I barely have any makeup on, but I do want to share some of the products that I did use to create this kind of natural look. It's not necessarily a makeup, no makeup kind of look. I do have makeup on, but it's, I think, quite natural. Anyway, so the first thing is I did pull one of my Huda Beauty palettes, and this one is in Empowered. Look at how beautiful. This is right now my favorite Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. And look at this color story. I just think that this is perfection for the spring season. I'm sorry that it's all dirty, but I did want you to know that this one has been through it with me for sure. And then I did receive several makeup products from Huda Beauty as part of PR. And one of them, guys, is absolutely incredible. They're all incredible, but this is the Strawberry Latte Blush Filter Palette. And look at how beautiful, guys. Absolutely beautiful. So let me go ahead and show you this palette because look at those colors. And do you see how there's a shimmer there? And then all the other colors are pretty matte. Well, let me tell you, all you have to do is just swirl all over and just swirl it on your face and call it a day. And then if you want to be a little bit extra, you can go into that shimmer one and then you can use that as your highlighter. But I am absolutely loving this palette, not just because it creates such a beautiful, beautiful finish. The colors are just incredible. They seem to go with everything. I've used it with a coral like I'm doing today. I've used it like for a pink look. I've used it with a red, and it seems to go with just about everything. It's very flattering, and I dare say this will be flattering for any skin tone. But in addition to that, the finish that it gives you is very, very beautiful. It looks like a glow from within kind of finish, and it doesn't emphasize texture. So I am absolutely loving it. And then I have here the lip contour stain, okay, that I have on my lips, which is also from Huda Beauty. So this one is in Soft Nude. Now there are 3 different shades. At least I was sent 3 different shades. This is the lightest one. This one you just use as like a lip liner. But let me tell you, this is not going to move because I have been using and playing around with these products just to really understand them. And I have to tell you that I went out to dinner the other night with my husband and I was wearing another one of the lip contours with the other product that I'm going to share with you now. And guys, it just did not move. I did drink, I ate, things that were a little bit oily, which typically remove non-transferable makeup, but not this one. This one will stay on until you come back home or until you have ended your day and you decide to like almost have to scrub it off. It is absolutely incredible. And last but not least, I have here a fall filler, and this one was one of the latest products that was launched, I believe. And this one is in Light Sealer. And this one is the lightest of the three that I did receive from the Huda Beauty team. But look, so here is the color so that you know. So you line your lips with a lip contour and then you apply this on top, and look, you have that look. And I am telling you, it is not moving. It is not going anywhere. But anyway, I will have a link to all of these products in the description box of this video in case you're interested in picking any of them up. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into the first two fragrances that I want to discuss with you today. Now, the thing about these fragrances, we're going to start with like the peach category, and there have been so many new releases during 2026 that are specific to the note of peach. And today I just want to talk about my two top picks right now, because there's a third one that I am going to mention, but I did not include it in today's video because I don't feel that I've used it enough for me to be able to tell you specifically in more detail what I really think about that one. I will be featuring it though during this coming Saturday's Chatty Scent Corner in case you're interested. Okay, so right now we're going to start with Lancome's Idole Peach and Roses. And the other fragrances that I want to use for this grouping would be the latest from Paco Rabanne, which is Million Gold for her, but this one is Pure Diamonds. And here is the gorgeous bottle. All right, so let's talk a little bit about these two fragrances. So I think that both of these fragrances are a solid launch from each house. I really, really do. But I must tell you that while I absolutely love Million Gold for her, Pure Diamonds, I must admit that this Idole is so incredible. This is the ultimate realistic peach in a fragrance. It is sweet. It opens with that very realistic, sweet, ripe, luscious peach, and it remains. And at the dry down, you are going to get that peach, not with the same intensity of the opening, but you're still going to get that peach. And it is just beautifully done. Now, when it comes to these two, you really can't go wrong. For me, this fragrance, the Peach and Roses from Lancome, is more of a casual kind of scent, but I can tell you that you can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can use it for just any occasion, day or night. Now, when it comes to the Million Gold for her, Pure Diamonds, to me, this is a fragrance that speaks truly to any occasion, but less casual. I mean, you could take it anywhere. You can dress it up and you can dress it down, but there is something about the scent, just like the bottle, that speaks to more of a done up, like when you put yourself together. To me, this fragrance speaks more to that. But at the end of the day, these are both incredible peach-centric fragrances where Idole has a more realistic, juicy, sweet peach. And I will tell you that Idole is fruitier and it is sweeter. That is the key difference. Idole is fruitier, definitely has those, like berries accord, and it has the peach, which is dominant at all times. And then you have a Million Gold for her, more of a floral presence, definitely with a marked white floral bouquet accompanied like with the note of Lang Lang. At the end of the day, they are both, again, incredible peach fragrances, but Idole is definitely fruitier and sweeter, and Million Gold for her is going to have more of a floral presence. They can both be dressed up and or down. They can both take you to any occasion, day or night. But I really believe that if you're looking for a fragrance that is more for like special events, you can take it to the office, you can go work out with it, but I just think that it speaks clearly to more of when you're trying to put yourself together and feel a certain kind of way. That's what I think about Million Gold for her. And before I move on, the third fragrance within the peach grouping of recent releases that I did want to bring to your attention is from Brown Girl Jane, and it is Peach Aura. That is a fragrance that I did pick up a couple of weeks ago. I've had the opportunity to use it a couple of times. I am ready to give you a review, but I don't like to discuss it in this type of video because I feel that I need to use it more and feel that I really, really understand the fragrance and have used it for different occasions in order to then come and speak to buy this and, and not that. But when it comes to those two fragrances that I just covered, you just really can't go wrong. It depends on what occasions you're looking for and what is the overall type of peach that you're looking for. A peach that is very, very realistic and playful and fun without being juvenile, and that you can dress up or down, which would be the case of Idole. Or are you looking for a peach that is not as sweet, as, as playful, without being juvenile, but it's not as like suited for casual occasions. It's more of a peach that speaks to all occasions, including to very, 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 very formal events and occasions. So it just really depends. Peach Aura, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm absolutely loving. That fragrance is incredible. So if you've been waiting for me to speak about it or review it, I will be featuring it this coming Saturday. So don't miss that. But I can tell you right now, you just can't go wrong with that fragrance. And it is one that you can pretty much dress up or down, but I do have some thoughts around that. So don't miss it. Anyway, next, let's talk about two fragrances that are within the musk category. Guys, we've had so many musk fragrances released within the last, within the first months of 2026, but I have separated them in three different groupings. First, let's talk about the real no-nonsense musk fragrance, right? Like the fragrance that's not designed to be soft and subtle and even kind of cozy or anything like that. These are powerhouse, in-your-face, bold, musk-centric fragrances. The two fragrances that I'm going to discuss with you now, I am telling you, they will give you a very complex olfactory journey. They are not your second skin kind of musk scent. And I just found it interesting because one was launched recently and I thought, okay, are we about to start a movement where we now have musk scents that have so much going on, not just in notes, guys, but in accords? These are definitely fragrances that are bold and statement making while being loaded with musk. And you'll understand as soon as I mention them. So the first one that I want to discuss, because it's the most recent and I have not featured it here on the channel, so I will give you a little bit more detail, is from Maison Crivelli. And this one is Musc Nurasana. And here is the bottle. Now, Musc Nurasana has at the top bergamot, ginger, and cardamom. At the heart, damask rose and frankincense. And at the base, musk, labdanum fir, and tonka bean. This is a fragrance that is absolutely incredible, guys. And as we've come to expect from Maison Crivelli, this is beyond beast mode. This is not just like full day wear and strong projection and it's going to get you compliments and attention. No, this musk will announce you. You'll be coming around the corner and they'll know if they sniffed you before that you are there and you're about to enter the room. That is the power of this fragrance, but it is truly a musk-centric fragrance. The musk here is to the tune of like a level 4 to 5. To my nose and on my skin, more 5 than 4. Not animalic in any kind of way, but this is a scent that when I tell you it is so, so bold, it is not to be messed around with. But curiously enough, to me, this fragrance is more suited for like the spring, the summer, and the opening of the fall. This is not one designed, in my opinion, for cold weather season. So during a fall day, I really would not pull this. During a winter day, absolutely not. This is really perfection for spring, summer, and the opening of the fall. Very much unisex, does not lean in any direction, has quite a bit going on here. There is a fresh spiciness right along with some citrusiness that opens this scent. That is what you're going to get in the opening, but it will immediately set the tone for what's to be a serious musk fragrance with quite a bit of personality and oomph. This is not a second skin kind of musk scent whatsoever, guys, okay? As the journey continues, that fresh spicy continues to be fresh spicy, but intensifies, okay? But never making the fragrance a bit too much for a warm day. I'm telling you, the beauty of this creation is just, I can't even tell you how impressed I am with this fragrance. it jumped up immediately to my number 2 favorite within all my Maison Crivelli collection. Incredible. Now, it does have a floral presence. The floral presence here is all about the note of rose. I don't pick up on any other floral. You know how sometimes they just don't disclose what else is in there? No, to me, this is all about the note of rose. The rose is a fresh bloom, but not very fresh. It wants to border at times like on being a little bit jammy, but to me, it's still a beautiful, fresh bloom rose that has just bloomed, several days ago. So it's entering that jammy territory, which gives the scent even more personality. At the dry down, the musk is completely level 5, not animalic in any kind of way. That fresh, spicy accord is still present. The rose takes a back seat to the musk, and the rose is faint, but you're going to pick up on it. But at the dry down, you also get like an infusion of it's not only fresh, spicy, but you get like a very vanillic, caramelly kind of scent. And that's courtesy of the note of tonka for sure. You are going to think that there's vanilla here because there's quite a bit of vanilla. It's not like a lot. It doesn't take over, but you are going to pick up on that vanillic quality, that vanillic accord and tonality for sure. Can't recommend it highly enough. Let us know if you've tried Musc Nurasana. I wanted to start by giving you kind of like a review of this fragrance because I had not featured it here before. It's very new. It was launched maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago and I picked it up immediately. But now let's go on to the second fragrance. And guys, this one, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's talk about it, okay? This one is from Gritti, and this one is Muskaria. And here is the gorgeous bottle. So I am laughing because let me tell you the story, my story with Muskaria. First of all, this is a fragrance that is really all about that musk. But it is a fragrance that if you are a Gritti fragrance house collector, it is a fragrance that, in my opinion, guys, departs from the DNA of the house because this is the most complex, olfactory journey of any of the fragrances that I've ever experienced from Gritti. And I have to tell you that Duchessa is a scent that has quite a bit of oomph. It has an olfactory journey that is really complex, okay? But this one has taken over, has taken the lead. Now, I wanted to really speak to when would you want to buy this one versus Musc Nurasana because they both offer such a complex olfactory journey. They are both very much unisex. They are both all about that musk involved and completely engaged with that spiciness. Here, the spiciness is more warm than fresh. At some points, I do pick it up to be a little bit fresh, but primarily the musk here is definitely warm, spicy. And in Nurasana, you are going to find that it's fresh, spicy all the way. But in addition to that, this one is also unisex. All the way. To me, this does not lean to the feminine or to the masculine side. To me, this is very, very much unisex. But here's another key difference that you need to consider if you're thinking about, okay, Arahi, which one should I pick up? Should I pick up Muskaria or should I pick up Musc Nurasana? Well, here's the thing. As I told you, Musc Nurasana for me is really about spring, summer, and the opening of the fall. Muskaria is a scent that I would use any season of the year except during the summer because the level of warm spicy to it makes it to me like anticlimactic. It's just not a fit for that season, okay? I would also be careful during the spring. To me, this is best suited for cooler weather. Yeah, I mean, that's really one of the cardinal differences between these two. The other thing that I do need to let you know when it comes to Muskaria from Gritti is that this is a fragrance that has a note of leather that, while not being overpowering at any given point or dominant, it is definitely present. It has been done in a very beautiful and smooth way as to be expected from Gritti, but it is definitely present. In addition to that, at the dry down, there's a certain degree of smokiness to that musk, which really sets it apart for warm weather. That's really a cardinal difference. So while both of these fragrances bring in that musk that is to the tune of a level 5, but not necessarily animalic, And while both fragrances are very much unisex, the cardinal difference for me is when do I think that they're best suited for. They will both give you an incredible olfactory journey. You are going to fall in love with them if you are into a musk scent because they really are about that musk. But these are not second skin musk fragrances, okay? That is really what I wanted to let you know. And then the fact that, the one from Gritti is best suited for cooler weather, and Musc Nurasana is definitely suited for warm weather. Let us know if you've tried any of these two. What has your experience been? What do you think about any of the two? What have you experienced? Are you getting compliments? Is it a bit too much? Are you happy with the olfactory journey that it's giving you? Let us know. All right, so next, and as we continue with our discussion around musk fragrances that have been launched recently, let's talk about two fragrances that, guys, these both went pretty much viral. One of them has sold out and I can't seem to find it anywhere to link it for you, but I did consider not bringing it to this video, but I decided to bring Cedar Chic from Carolina Herrera to this video because I think that it is important that you understand how it compares, because it has been compared, really, it has been compared with Pure Moss Blanc for her from Narciso Rodriguez. And these fragrances are not the same, guys, and the differences are not even negligible. So let's talk about it. First and foremost, let me start by saying that Cedar Chic is a musk-centric fragrance. They both have a musk around level 4 to 5, more 4 than 5, but they are all about that musk, okay? Truly. And they are designed to give you quasi second skin, right? They are kind of like a second skin type of musk fragrance. They do have a clean aesthetic to them, but let's talk about several things. First and foremost, when it comes to Narciso's musk, the musk is animalic, okay? It's not very animalic. It's not an animalic level that you have to be concerned about. But this fragrance does have a musk that is animalic at the dry down. In addition to that, this fragrance does have more of a floral presence than that I find in Cedar Chic. To me, Cedar Chic is a musk-centric scent that does have a floral presence marked by the note of orange blossom, but in the aid of woodiness. Because at the dry down, this is a musky scent that has a floral presence, again, marked by the orange blossom on a backdrop of woodiness. That to me is the absolute beauty and exquisiteness of this masterpiece, because to me, this is a masterpiece. I've shared that with you before. Now, when it comes to Narciso, Narciso does have more of a floral presence, because to me, Narciso is like a bouquet of white florals. There's all types of white florals in this fragrance. I pick up on several, but overall at the dry down, you're going to get a bouquet of white florals. And in Cedar Chic, you're going to get the orange blossom. When I first reviewed Cedar Chic for you here on the channel, I told you that you had to love orange blossom because orange blossom is the floral in control here. Now, in addition to that, when it comes to Cedar Chic, I find that they both have aldehydes. Okay, let's get that clear. But I find that Cedar Chic has quite a bit of aldehydes. So if you are not into a very aldehyde loaded type of scent, then Cedar Chic is not going to be for you. It's not just the musk, but it's the aldehydes. And while they are present here in Narciso's, it's more wearable to call it something. If you're not into aldehydes, they're a bit demure compared to what you find in Cedar Chic. Now, in addition to that, and another key and critical difference that may make you decide to go elsewhere, Cedar Chic at the dry down is quite soapy. It does have a soapy quality to it, okay? It does have that soapy accord / tonality. It really, really does. Is it overbearing? To some it will be. To some, I'm not gonna lie, to some it will be. I absolutely love it. It's part of that clean aesthetic of it, but it is a soapy accord for sure. It's not overpowering in my opinion. It's not obnoxious, but it is definitely soapy. In Narciso, there is a little tiny bit of that, but you're barely, if at all, going to pick it up. I mean, honestly, I just don't think that that's a factor with Narcisos, but definitely with Cedar Chic. Other than that, these are fragrances that I both consider to be the very best of musks out there right now. I mean, do I still love Musc's therapy? Absolutely. Do I still love Mont Blanc's signature? Absolutely. But these two fragrances, oh wow. But all in all, these fragrances are just amazing. You cannot go wrong with any of the two, as long as you understand the differences, which are not negligible, that I just explained to you. They are overall going to give you that second skin kind of scent. If you are seriously into musk-centric, clean aesthetic type of scents, you're going to love them. You're going to absolutely fall in love with them. Just keep in mind that at the dry down, Cedar Chic has quite a bit of woodiness, less of a floral presence, and that musk, while Narciso has more of a floral presence, all about the white florals with the musk and not much of woodiness, because I don't pick up much of it, if at all. Anyway, let us know if you've had the opportunity to compare these two and how do you feel about them? And were you one of the fam members that was lucky enough to pick up Cedar Chic before it disappeared? I'm pretty sure that it'll come back someday, so don't worry because I'm on the lookout for you. Next, I want to speak about two musk fragrances that are also very different, right? So I've already discussed with you the second skin musks that have been launched recently, the two that have really stood out for me. I also did share with you the powerhouse musk scents that have been launched recently. And now I want to speak about fragrances that, while wanting to be the second skin kind of musk scent, they're really, really not, because they have so many notes, accords, and tonalities playing in that game that they just cannot necessarily be second skin. They will give you an intimate scent once you've been wearing it for several hours, but these fragrances have so much personality, and they are musk scents that, while perfection for the spring and summer, they will also carry you all throughout the year. And they are completely different one from the other, and completely different than anything that we've discussed. And to top it all off, in my opinion, completely different than any other musk-centric fragrance that I have in my entire collection across the board. So let's go ahead and talk about two incredible new fragrances. And the first one is from Guerlain, and this one is Eau De Tulle. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Eau De Tulle has at the top angelica, citrusy notes, and pink pepper. At the heart, orange blossom, dragée, rose. And at the base, white musk, vanilla, patchouli, and incense. Here's the thing. So I've already reviewed this fragrance for you here on the channel. I will leave a link to the video where I reviewed this collection. This is the latest collection from Guerlain. There is a total of 5 fragrances. They're all musky. This one is the only one that's in Eau de Parfum concentration. All the others are Eau de Toilette. And I selected this one not because it's the only Eau de Parfum within the group, but because of everything that's going on in here. This does have that note of angelica, but the angelica that you find here is very smooth, and it takes its place when it comes to the musk. It allows the musk to do its thing, because the dominant note here is the musk, and it's a dominant accord for sure. Second by that angelica. Now, if you're familiar with the note of angelica, you know that angelica doesn't like to play second fiddle to any other note, but in this fragrance, it has done just that. And that makes for a beautiful dry down that has a floral presence marked by the note of angelica. There are other florals here, but the angelica is the star. The musk is to the tune of a level 4 to 5. To me, more 4 than 5. Not animalic necessarily in any kind of way to my nose. There's also a note of chocolate that is going to come across, and it's going to infuse the scent with a bit of a yummy quality. Because when I shared this review with you, I told you that this is giving me like sugared almonds, like the type of sugared almonds that you would be gifted at a wedding. That is the scent that I get at the dry down, but smooth, beautifully done, very musky, comforting, just exceptionally done. This is a fragrance that you can wear all throughout the year for any occasion, day or night. So to me, it's not about buy this one versus the next one that we're going to talk about. But I do want to let you know that while they both have a yummy factor to it, the notes and accords involved make quite the marked difference for sure. The next one that I want to discuss with you within this category of these musk fragrances that really make a different statement and set themselves apart, even though they are musk centric, because of the notes and accords involved and how different they are than just about anything else, even though they're all about that musky scent. And while they do want to be second skin, they're really not. But anyway, so here we have from Byredo, and this one is Alto Astral. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Alto Astral, this scent, I have to tell you, this is addictive. Let me just start by saying that this to me is an incredible musk-centric scent. But here's the thing. The musk and the coconut fight all the way. From the opening to the dry down throughout the wear of the fragrance, the musk and the coconut are at war. I mean, they really do battle each other, okay, for dominance, because the coconut here is not demure, okay? It is very present, and it is not a creamy coconut. It's not a dry, very flaky coconut, but it is not a creamy coconut. This is a very, not just present coconut, but it is also a coconut accord that just supersedes just about any other note with the exception of the musk. The musk and the coconut come together and they never let go of one another. They're trying to really take the lead one from the other, and it's very clear to you in the olfactory journey. But at the end, they play nicely together and they are both in dominance, okay? This is a fragrance that, much like when I was talking to you about Eau De Tulle, Alto Astral is a scent that you could pull off any season of the year for any occasion, day or night. You have to be into the note of coconut. The note here that has been shared is coconut water, but I get coconut, okay? And that's fine that it's coconut water, but I get a coconut that, again, is very, very present, dominant, and it's not creamy. In addition to that, this one has like an aquatic quality to it that I can't really explain. But the funny thing is that even though it does have that aquatic tonality to it, it does not limit it to any specific season, because typically if we talk about aquatic / ozonic, we're automatically talking about spring and summer. This is perfection for spring and summer, but this is perfection also for the fall, and you could definitely pull it off during the winter. This one is unisex, while this one definitely leans to the feminine side. In addition to that, you are going to find that this fragrance has a powdery dry down. The powdery dry down almost makes that coconut a bit powdery, kind of reminding you of like vanilla powder. You know how you get that powdery coconut type of scent at the dry down? Well, there is some of that here. It's not to the tune of that fragrance, okay? No, they are not the same. I just wanted to kind of be able to give you something that you could relate to. In addition to that, this one compared to Eau De Tulle, well, Eau De Tulle gives me like a 4 to 5, more 4 than 5 musk. This one is a 5 all the way, okay? And the dry down is musky, woody, with a floral presence that really, I already told you, it's really about the musk and the coconut. There is a floral presence here, but it is faint. It is practically irrelevant, in my opinion, okay? But in addition to that, there's a bit of a balsamic quality to the scent. This has got to be one of the most complex olfactory journeys that I've ever experienced with Byredo, because if you are a Byredo collector or familiar with the DNA of this house, you know that their scents really tend to all be about that clean aesthetic, you know, kind of second skin. But this one, while wanting to be second skin, has so much going on and so much personality that it really makes a different statement. Absolutely incredible fragrance. Do I think that this is a safe blind buy? I would prefer you to get yourself a sample or go sniff it in store, because this one, I'm telling you, there's quite a bit going on here. I am absolutely obsessed with this fragrance. I've had it in my collection for maybe a month and a half, 2 months now, and Any chance that I get, I do pull it. The performance, by the way, is exceptional. The performance in this fragrance aligns more with the performance that you're getting from the Absolute line than from the old line, right? So even though this one is an Eau de Parfum, it's not within the Absolute collection, it is performing like the Absolute collection, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let us know if you've tried Alto Austral or Eau de Tulle, and what has your experience been? How are you feeling about them? Do you pick up the coconut in Alto Austral? Would you agree that it's all about the coconut and the musk, and that right there sets it apart? Do you get the sugared, sugared almonds that I pick, sugared candied almonds that I pick up at the dry down with Eau de Tulle? Let us know. All right, guys. And the last group that I have for you today, it just seems to me that I cannot have this type of video and not address yet again the vanilla launches, because we're always getting vanilla fragrances, but I must admit that I was, and I'm still very, very impressed with these 3 launches, because although they all came out kind of around the same time, they're not fragrances that, in my opinion, you're going to understand overnight. These are fragrances that you have to use and use to really understand them, okay? And we are going to talk about 3 vanilla fragrances that all they don't have the same scent profile, but what they do deliver is a vanilla-centric scent experience that is not like anything else that we really have experienced. These vanilla-centric scents have been taken to the next level. And while there are incredible, there are other vanilla fragrances that are absolutely incredible, like the Guerlain fragrances and others that I can definitely agree to. There's Electimus that has a vanilla-centric fragrance that, wow, is incredible. There's Louis Vuitton that just came out with Phantasmagorie, beautiful. But these 3, there's just something where I just know that we need to talk about these 3, okay? The first one is, guys, Nova Vanilla from Atelier d'Ors. And here is the gorgeous bottle. The bottle is just beautiful with that little seahorse there. I mean, it is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The second one that we're going to discuss as part of this grouping, and that I'm sure will not come as a surprise to you, is from Gritti. And this one is Vanilla Tana. And here is the gorgeous bottle. And then last but not least, and I'm sure you already know which one is going to be the third one, of course, BDK Vanille Caviar. And here is the bottle. Now, let's talk about these 3 fragrances. And I want to go ahead and start with Novo Vanilla, okay? So let me just share with you the notes of this one, because I think it's important that you even understand the differences in notes. First and foremost, these 3 are all about the note, the accord, the tonalities that come from a note of vanilla. The vanilla is very dominant, very statement making, very bold, very unapologetic, not your regular sweet vanilla, bordering on gourmand or full on gourmand kind of vanilla scent. They are not. They came to set the tone for we are different. And all 3 of them, while giving you kind of like the same experience, they are all very different fragrances. So when it comes to Nova Vanilla, it has at the top mineral notes and Mimosa Absolute. At the heart, Vanilla Absolute, Bourbon Vanilla, and Madagascar Vanilla. And at the base, we have Amberwood and Musk. First and foremost, all 3 of these have quite a bit of musk. To me, there's more musk in this one than in any of the others for sure. The musk here to me is between a 4 and 5. For me, it's more of a 5 than a 4, to be honest with you, not necessarily animalic, okay? The thing about this fragrance is that it is truly about yellow florals and vanilla, okay? And do I get the mimosa? I do get the mimosa, but I also get Lang Lang, guys, okay? And it has not been disclosed, but I do get it, and I've tried it because of that, because I keep picking that up. This is a fragrance that, while it has a ton of vanilla and it's all about the vanilla, is sweet. It's not very sweet, because it's really not about a sweet but vanilla. It's really more about how the vanilla plays with the florals being yellow exclusively. In addition to that, there is a mineral/metallic quality to this scent that you're not going to avoid. I also get a bit of a resinous quality to it, but curiously enough, this is the one that I think you could pull off any season of the year for any occasion, day or night. because while this is a very, very intense vanilla scent, this is not demure in any kind of way, okay? You can dress it up, you can dress it down, any occasion, day or night. Very, very interesting. That is Nova Vanilla. And for me, by the way, this is very much unisex. I would say that all of these are very much unisex because, again, this is not your sugary, sweet vanilla. No, no, no. This is vanilla personality all the way, all the way. So next, let's talk about Vanille Caviar. So Vanille Caviar is a scent, guys, that... So here's the thing. To me, this is truly more of a fall and winter kind of scent. To me, this is not a spring and summer. You could pull it off during the spring. During the summer, it may be a bit much. I'm telling you, especially if you're outside on a warm day. To me, this is really a fall and winter scent. That right there sets it apart immediately from the other two and allows you to make more of a decision. Because if you're looking for a vanilla scent with quite a bit of personality that you can use all throughout the year, this one is not for you. This one has at the top calamus and cassis, at the heart vanille, osmanthus, and cacao, and at the base vanille, Peru balsam, and labdanum. This fragrance has a note of cacao that is present. That note of cacao plays a critical role in not allowing this to be a fragrance that you can pull off during the summer, because in addition to that vanilla, which, you know, the scent is very ambery and it is resinous to my nose, but that cacao is also a bit bitter. So those three things right there just put it in a category for me that it's not for warm weather. I just cannot envision myself in warm weather feeling comfortable wearing this scent, because to top it all off, this is a very well-performing fragrance. You are going to sniff yourself, and those around you are going to sniff you, and it's going to be a bit much. I dare say that it may be a bit cloying during the warm season for sure. The scent at the dry down is also very woody. It is ambery, it is sweet, but not very sweet. It is woody. It just has all the characteristics of a perfect scent, perfect vanilla-centric scent for cooler weather. And that is exactly what it's going to give you. To me, this is definitely unisex. And for during the colder season, you could dress it up, you could dress it down, you could make it your signature scent. But again, to me, the condition is that cool weather. Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about Vanilla Tana. And let me go ahead and share with you the notes first. So here we have Vanilla Absolute, Vanilla Caviar, Vanilla Orchid, White Orchid, Tonka Bean, Sandalwood, Amber, White Musk, Lang Lang, Baobab, and Pink Pepper. This is a fragrance that will give you a very complex olfactory journey, even though it is a vanilla. And this vanilla scent is sweet. It is not very sweet, but it is the sweetest of the three, okay? This is a scent that, in my opinion, you could pull off for any occasion, day or night, during the spring, the fall, the winter, and during the summer, if you are going to be inside, not outside on a very hot summer day, you could pull it off. This is the one that has the most floral presence, the least spicy quality of all the three. In addition to that, it is powdery at the dry down, but that powderiness is not cloying in any kind of way or is not an impediment for you to be able to pull it off during the summer. To me, this one is not necessarily full-on unisex. It is unisex, but it does lean to the feminine side, because the vanilla that you find here, well, this is not a typical vanillic sugary kind of scent. It is definitely a vanilla that is sweet. There is a certain degree of yumminess to this scent, but just a little tiny bit. It is not even gourmandish in my opinion, but there is a little bit of yumminess because the vanilla, again, here is sweet. Now, this is a fragrance that, compared to the others, I think is the easiest pull, and it is the one that I think that is perfection for layering also. Is it as nice when layering like with a vanilla 28? No, because there is too much going on here. There's a lot of personality here, okay? But it's not designed to be a basic vanilla layering staple kind of scent, but it is definitely a scent that you could use to layer with other fragrances. For me, this is the most versatile of the three because the others are making such a statement within their own realm that I just don't think that they allow for a lot of flexibility. This one to me is the one that is the most flexible and the easiest pull, and the only one that may be kind of, which I would prefer you not to, be a safe blind buy. Anyway, so that is how I feel about all three of these fragrances when it comes to Nova Vanilla and Vanilla Caviar and Vanilla Tana. Those are, to me, the key and critical differences between those three. It's all about what are you looking for in a vanilla-centric scent that is not your typical sweet vanilla fragrance, okay? Do you want it to have a little bit more personality than your typical sweet vanilla, good for layering kind of scent? Well, Vanilla Tana. If you are looking for a scent that is really not designed to play around and is designed for you to just wear it with quite a bit of oomph and momentum, well, then you can't go wrong with Nova or Vanilla Caviar. But all three of these fragrances, you just can't go wrong with them, but they are not the same. While they may give you a very similar wear experience because of the amount of personality and some of the accords, notes, and tonalities involved, all three are quite different. Let us know, what has your experience been if you've tried any of the three or the three. All right, fam. So we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was enjoyable for you and that you were able to get all the information that you need in order to make some decisions around these groupings that I shared with you today. I have a couple more videos coming up. Once I'm done really wearing Peach Aura a bit more, I will circle back and give you a full-on comparison, in my opinion. You know, how does Peach Aura compare to all the other peach fragrances that have been launched recently? There are other peach and musk and vanilla fragrances that have been launched recently, but I felt that these groupings that I brought for you today are the ones that I really needed to speak to first. But in other videos where I do buy this, not that, I will pull in the other fragrances that have been launched. Anyway, please share with us, what has your experience been with these fragrances? How do you feel about them? Anything that you feel, would be of use to all of us, for us to know if we're trying to make a decision between picking up one or the other. As always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.